je dat ik zeg dan?
Gewoon wat je wil.
Oké. Nou, hello, I'm back. Theo is gonna do my hair again. Some pink shades, some grey shades, some...
Freshening up the style because it's very long now.
Theo style.
Okay. We turn so you can see how it's now, because this is about 5 weeks old, 6 weeks old or something like that. Okay, thank you very much. And friends on YouTube, gonna do Danique's hair again. Yes, I'm gonna do that. Now she sent me some photos of hairstyles she likes. The styles, it's always a bit the same, so it's more freshening up the style. But the colors, they're totally different. So I thought by myself, no, let me show you what I'm going to do with her hair. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to cut, then I'm going to color. The first parts will be a grayish color, a bit darker of color. Lighten up a little bit the length and then give that a crazy, bit old pink color. So it's more in line with the cool colors on the rest. That's what's going to happen. Starting with the clipper cuts on the sides. Nou, het is wel een flinke dan. Nou, een vergunning vanavond vragen. Godkind.
Oh yeah.
Now, I wetted the hairs. My neighbor is working, so I have a little bit of noise around me, but that I like because normally it's so quiet around here. So I start with parting hair, leave the lane, the pairs that lay down on this short side, leave. But then I go in from the parting line onto the part behind the ear, show you that in a second. So I can find my first line. I part this side. So this is my parting line in a moon shape, so I can really see the shape of her skull. And there I go in. This will be ultra short, of course, and the sides also, and then lay the rest over it, but that you see. Starting with my clipper cut, take my large flat comb again, and make my first line. This line is in line with the eyebrows. And when you do that often, then it's not hard to do this hairstyle. But you have to be aware of the natural lines, otherwise it never falls that right. Dat is toch wel echt lang, ja.
Zo. Schrikkelijk toch?
Ja, ik vind niet, hè?
Nee.
Ja.
Het is net zo tuttig van haar, ja. Zo onverzorgd, dat ben ik niet, zo, nee. De put moet erin blijven.
Ja. Nou, maar dat is ook wel leuk, omdat jij toch wel een klein vrouwtje bent. En ja. Is zo'n pittige lijf van mooi. Ja. Put my blade to the back. It's a combing position, leaning on the skin. And take off the hairs that hang over the hairstyle. I play a lot in between with the blades of my clipper because I love the difference in length of it.
Goed dat valt de school, hè?
Doe Pien?
Ja, ik heb deze net al 2 weken erin zitten.
Oh, she has a new piercing. Thank God for that. Girls and piercings. Now first clean this up. Very gentle on the ears.
Yeah,
Thank God she only has 2 ears. So now, when you look at the sides, they are really, really short, but nicely in line with all the lines and the structures of a skull. So now I'm going to work on the back.
Het lijkt toch altijd zo leuk dit, hè?
Ja, dat is leuk. Go in. This time we go a little bit shorter than the last time, because we are softly going to spring. Leaning with my comb against the hair fall. And finding myself the right way to go to the back. Was it me?
Ja, zou niet goed zijn.
Nee, dat zou niet goed zijn. Pull off the leg.
Ja.
Classic, let's get the number. Shaping around the shapes of the skull. Put my blade to the back again, leaning on the skin. On the sharpest position, holding our beautiful natural lines of the neckline, and the implant is really wonderful on her. Coming over the center, get my comb in a position where I get the line.
Gewoon een stuk houden, hè?
And because this corner is always jumping up on her, I give this a slight rounding so the longer hair lays over it. So give a little bit diversity into the line. So I take it up in the line where I can get it always in the same line, asymmetrical. But then you can see the hair around here is getting a curve to the other side. So I go in on this side, and you never see this back because the hair is hanging over it. And I just give it a slight rounding, remaining in the underlines, the asymmetrical line. But in the upper hair, I take away a little bit of the weight. So just give a better end result afterwards. And when you do a lot of this hairstyles, you are always going to be aware of the personality and the person who has the hair, that the way the hair goes. So you have to be adapting that into your lines to make a beautiful hairstyle. So far the large clipper. You see how wonderful the shapes are of a beautiful implant. I never get bored of doing hair. Just love it. Clean this. Now I'm going to wet the upper hair and do the cut on that. Now I know she wants to keep the length in the front, so she loves this length. So I have to find me a way from this short side to the longer side. So Therefore, I start on the line of parting we already made. Take on the back the same line as I did, and that about a centimeter higher, so I can get on the ear line and not above it. And lay all the hairs in their natural roundings. So now you see there's just a little bit more hanging over, but not too much. It's just a centimeter of parting. Now first line was from here to halfway down the ears, and now it's a little bit higher. Get a hot razor. Be aware of the fall of the hairs. Comb the hairs in the natural roundings. Start on the short side and gently go down. Using all the roundings of a skull. Notice that when you come on the half of the head, you have to have a part where you travel over to the other side, because here you get the natural roundings, and I know they travel up, but also they're hanging down. So you see that the shape of the head is a little bit different. Knowing that on the front I have to keep the length, so I start there, just taking off a half centimeter, and then work my way up to the line of cutting on the center. So I get a nice flowing line. The nice thing of this knife is that you don't have to force anything. It works very gently on the hairs. Control the roundings. This is my first line, so I have a nice flowing line. Take from the center of the parting line a new part on it. Pull it to the back. Using again all the roundings. Start on the short side. Gently travel over, knowing the part is jumping up, so don't pull on the hairs on that part. So get a little bit more length. Then go to the first parting line on the front. And get myself the same line again. Now I'm over the center of the skull, so now I can work to the sides. Part in the same parting line as I used on the back, but now I go to the front. Again, noticing that she wants to keep the length on the front, lay the hand on the line of cutting, start in the back, and see how much comes off. It's not much. Lay the hairs in the opposite rounding. Go over the first parting line again. Take about a centimeter more. Dat is ook lekker. Is dat rustgevend?
Ja. Ja, ik had een nagelijk aan mijn eigen nagelbolletje.
Ja. Ja.
Kom ik doen met het rustje hoor, heerlijk.
Ja, fijn is dat, ja.
Zo fijn.
Maar in dienst zijn van iemand is ook leuk. Het is gewoon wel grappig. Now coming to the last part of cutting. Again, gently take the hairs down. can hear the hissing of the blades in between. The blades are 119 degrees Celsius, so it's not that they are not warm. And go back over the same line again. Give it the opposite turn. So it's like a cross control. Just gently take them up, lay them in the natural lines, and just guide your knife over the cutting line. So it will be a nice soft line. So now I kept all the length on the front, get myself a new line to the back, so now I can make her a collar. Okay, created her two colors, a grayish color, a bit dark color because the first part will be a bit darker of color. This is a 4 special color in gray. Do this with 3%, that's 10 volume, so don't damage the hairs, don't damage the skin. And knowing if she wants to go to platinum, for example, in spring, we can go to a platinum. And then with foils, I make a new blonde part on the back, so I create a new color on that so you can see the shades better. First take the short part, of course. Take a foil, lay it on the hairs. Take again about a centimeter hair. Color the base into this dark color. I lay it on the foil. Come it a bit into the length, so I get a nice soft overflow. And for the length, I made a bleach, a very soft one, with 6% as 20 volume. It's a green bleach, give you a photo of it, and I put a developed blue into it, so I can get rid of the golden tones.
Wat een klus weer.
Lay a new foil of this, so it works again on the other side. The last foil I laid around the parting where the head turns down, because there I have of the under layers and I don't want to have an ultra light line on the back and onto the back, so I just lay it on the hairs and the rest is in the same deep color. So I cover this up, we go for a coffee, you just stay there, we'll be back in a second. And then we show you the toner that's coming on it. And I take as guideline the color, the light color, so not the dark color, because that's on already for about 10 minutes, so that I can take off of the color that I can see through the plastic foil. So we'll be back. Okay, we're back from coloring. I blow dried it a bit because I need to have the hairs a bit dry. And now I mixed a color so I can get into the violets and into the trendy shades. But we have already a lot of shades by doing what we did. So this is wonderful, but now we go to the violet cooler colors. So I created this color of Bravana. Don't need the Valper. And gives also a cool tone to the bit grayish color we used on the sides. So I make a nice overflow of the color without getting too much product on the short parts. Just the overflow with almost dry brush. Looks a bit like Bob Ross. It's your world you're living in, so choose your own fantasies. Only that there is a little bit lighting up in the same color line. And the rest I put over the length, of course. When you mix colors into each other, you have to have a paper, a white paper, and set little stripes on it so you can see what you're doing, what the mix is. And this violet color will take certainly out the yellow tones in the hairs. This has to stay on for about 15 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's longer on the hair, because it never damages the hair, it just nurses the hair. And it don't need heat. Now, so I set in all the hairs, and then we wait for 15 minutes, and then we're back to style our hair. Okay, back from the toner. So now the hair is totally wet, of course. Gonna blow dry the hair. Gonna use products of Glint. First thing I'm going to use is conditioner, leave-in. This you can also use when you do the haircut. Only take this small amount. And it smells like green tea. Certainly that there is green tea in this product. Like you know? Mm-hmm. On that I use a little bit velvet. This power foam. Massage it gently into the hairs. And I'm going to blow dry it with a light brush. Starting, of course, on the longer side.
Ja, daar heb ik ook naar gekeken, maar ik ga echt niet 400 euro voor een föhn neerleggen hoor.
Ik ook niet.
Ik vind 100 euro dat ik al denk, oh, maar ja, die föhn is mij heilig, hè? Dat is mij alles. Die voor mij begint echt de kuren te krijgen, maar ja, dat kan het wel na 20 jaar. Dus je moet er echt wel weer aan gaan geloven eerder.
So far blow drying. You see how wonderful the colors came out. It's very cool colors. They're also all different shades of pink and cold pink tones. Don't need much on our hair because it's very light obstruction. So I take only a bit of hairspray. Softly cleaning the contour line. And then I thank Danique for being my model, and I thank you for watching. Till next time, she will certainly turn so you can see the end result. Bye bye.
Ja.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Foot.
Now, hello, I'm back. Theo is gonna do my hair again. Some pink shades, some grey shades, some
Freshening up the style because it's very long now.
Theo style.
Okay. Wait turn so you can see how it's now, because this is about 5 weeks old, 6 weeks old or something like that. Okay, thank you very much.